Paintball nerd.
Today's guest on Paintball Nerd started playing paintball in 2018. However, he started a YouTube channel in 2012, always making deposits. In 2019, that channel began incorporating paintball content. He's got 1.3 million followers on TikTok and a YouTube channel with 200,000 followers, 200,000 subscribers. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. It's Matt the Gym Rat.
Let's go. I finally made it.
Woo!
Mom, you don't have to work anymore. You can retire.
Dude, happy to have you, bro. Welcome.
Oh, yeah. I'm always excited to spend some time with fellow content creators in the paintball space.
So you started your channel in 2012, 6 years before you picked up a paintball gun. What inspired that? What inspired your channel?
Yeah. I always like took inspiration from people, right? I feel like if you watch a lot of my videos now, you can tell like they're kind of inspired if you are on the YouTube landscape. But I always took inspiration from people. So, I'd always see people filming or I'd always see these videos. I think America's Funniest Home Videos probably is one of the big inspirations because you'd always see people recording. So like I'd be 8 years old asking for a camera so I could record all the dumb stuff we do. And then it just kind of worked out from there. I started doing dance videos in middle school. So we do a lot of dancing and always record it and make YouTube videos from that. And then in high school, I was like, you know what? I was always looking at protein reviews, like trying to figure out which protein I wanted. And I get little bits of information from people. I was like, I'll just do one that, says everything that I want. And that's what I started doing. And then got into college, did like some fitness vlogging and then started playing paintball and started recording that. And then I realized, that there's a big space for it. And so I started, or there was an empty space that I felt like someone needed to fill. And so I felt like maybe it was my time to shine.
Well, when you recognize that there's an empty space, it becomes your responsibility, almost an obligation to fill said space.
I just think I saw like you start floating when you said that.
So there wasn't a goal. There wasn't a goal with your channel. It's just like I'm just gonna start filming and see what happens.
Yeah. I started I started with a GoPro and just started recording and filming out of the field. I'd set it up in the corner. Really, like it would help us, watch practice back, and then I would go and get a song I liked and put it all to it, and I kind of put an edit to it. And I remember like my first YouTube video I ever posted with paintball got like maybe 5 times more views than any of my vlogs for workouts ever did. So I was like, okay, like people obviously like this a lot more than they like me posting my workout videos. So that's like when it stuck, and I was like, okay, like people care about this content and they'll watch it. So I just stuck to it.
What? Like in what world does paintball get more attention than working out?
Yeah, well, that's why I said there was an empty space for it, right? Like there was so many people posting workout videos that mine, didn't stand out compared to anyone else's. But when I put that effort that I, took from trying to learn how to make my videos better and put it into paintball content, there wasn't as many people doing that. So
you dropped a little nugget about dancing, recording yourself dancing. Can Matt the Gym Rat cut a mean rug? Is that what I'm hearing? Let's see it, dude. Let me see some popping and locking.
It only comes out at weddings and clubs, so maybe at Vegas.
At the Summit Awards.
Yeah. If I win an award, I'll pin drop on stage. How about that?
Okay. I don't even know what that is, but it sounds fantastic. A pin drop. All right.
Yeah.
Dude.
Oh man.
So it started with working out, it evolved to paintball. Real quick, what's the best protein powder?
What's the best protein powder? Man, I've always stuck to Optimum Nutrition. I mean, you can get it in Walmart now, but like back when I first started, like that, I think that's literally the first review I ever did on my channel was Optimum Nutrition banana cream protein. It got like 10,000 views. It's still crazy to me, like how many views it got. But yeah, I still stick with Optimum Nutrition. I worked at GNC for a year, and I would always get Optimum Nutrition whenever I worked there. Just tastes good and it's reliable.
Dude, I went to GNC once in my life, and the kid working there was like, "Don't buy here. Just go to bodybuilding.com." I was like, "Really?" He's like, "Way cheaper."
Wow.
I'm like, "Wow. Do you get commission?" He's like, "Nah."
Oh, he is lying, dude. We got commission. I was always trying to, hey man, are you sure like A multivitamin would go great with that protein. And then you should buy a pill holder for it in a shaker
Yeah,
bottle.
get the shaker bottle, you're gonna
Yeah.
need to, yeah, do everything the right way. That's funny, dude. Your content is amazing because what it does is it appeals to people that don't play paintball as well. A lot of the content that we see in paintball appeals only to paintball nerds. Like, probably a small percentage of your audience is gonna watch this, but they'll watch, your people outside of paintball will watch you, shoot a guy with a little target that goes on him and be like, "Get out, nerd!" Like that appeals to a wider demographic. So it's a really cool thing that you're doing for paintball is attracting and getting outside eyes.
Yeah, that's always my goal. Once you realize that there's only so many people in paintball, and then once you realize that even fewer of them actually watch YouTube, you're like, if
Mhm.
you're only appealing to those people, then you're already working with a very, very small audience.
Yeah.
And so I realized that, in the pursuit of trying to make my videos better and get more people to watch them, is that you have to appeal to more than just paintball players. And so that's always my goal now. Is I understand that a lot of what I do, people might think is mundane if you understand paintball, but at the same time, I do know that like those people also probably appreciate the videos that I do make, and are still going to watch them even if I have two sentences in there where I explain like how a tournament works. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, they know how a tournament works, but we want to see you play in it. And for the people that don't, they're like, oh, I don't know how a tournament works and I want to see you play in it, right? So there's always a list of boxes that I try to check in every video. And if I can check a couple of those for some people and all of them for others, that's awesome. But as long as I'm checking boxes, I always feel like that's important for me to kind of display that to other people and show, like people that don't know every time they watch a video that they could learn something.
Mm. And you're always posting another deposit, which of course is a session in the gym, right?
Yeah, well, it's pretty much anything that you do to try and get better, is what I assume. I kind of took it from I used to listen to a bodybuilding podcast, and they were like a penny in the jar, is what they always said.
Mm.
And they were like anything you do, whether it's eating right, working out, going on a walk, doing chores around the house, it's just a penny in the jar, right? Because it's some type of expenditure, and you're doing something to better either you or your life. And so like that's what I kind of took. And I was like, well, I'll just put my own spin on it as like another deposit. Like you're always depositing. Same thing with money. You deposit money into your savings and your checking, you spend it. It's like it's just this bank. And the more effort you put in, the more things you do, the more it adds up and allows you to kind of, whenever the time comes to expend that savings.
So if doing drills, let's say, at the end of practice is a deposit, if a gym session is a deposit, what is a withdrawal?
A withdrawal is tournament time. It's
Oh.
competition time. It's all that work that you put in. It's time to pull it out and see, all that
Ah.
preparation.
And if you don't deposit enough, you'll overdraft.
Oh
Right?
man. I mean, hey, if you're winning off of not depositing, somebody else has probably saved up enough to help you
Yeah,
get there.
someone else is putting in
Yeah.
those deposits for
Yep.
you. That makes sense. Breaking it down, dude. So what else are you working on for your channel?
Yeah, I mean, we filmed two full-length videos this past week. We did one on Thursday and then one on um Sunday, and I will just say that it has to do with knockoff Chinese products. So that was a lot of fun. And then we're heading to BB Fit this weekend, me and Sir William 40 Media Mosley. And we are going to play the Champs League on Saturday, which I have a video planned out for that. And then we are playing MechX on Sunday. So I'll also have a video planned out for that. So
Dude, how is MechX? Have you done that before?
yes. So this will be my third one. So I got to play one a month ago, and then I played one back in 2022. And it's a lot of fun, dude. Because I mean, you get paired up with whoever and you go out there and play whatever. But it's chaos. I wouldn't say controlled chaos. It's definitely just chaos, and playing with a bunch of guys you've never played before and trying to make it gel, and it's just a lot of fun.
It's at Paintball Fit, right?
Yep, at Paintball Fit, which I did a video on them a couple years ago, but definitely what I consider the best paintball field in the world for, tournament paintball. Just
I've heard that.
very, yeah, very, very accommodating. They've got everything there that you need. I mean, I didn't have a microfiber, and literally, I was with Scott Stewart, and he's like, "Yeah, give me 1 second," and he comes back with a brand new microfiber. They just have them in there. If I needed one, then I could get one, and I was just like, that's amazing that these people care so much about the people that come here, and the people that play paintball here, that the lookouts just do all that to make sure that everything's right.
I've heard it. I've heard paintball fit called the Field of Dreams.
I would agree. uh, I mean, there's a couple other places that I think people would fight you on. Like Prime in Alabama is one that I
Sure.
know also, that I've heard of, but there's not many that can hold a candle to
Hmm. Well, I didn't say that. I just heard someone say it
them.
was the Field of Dreams. So anyone who wants to fight me, it's not my words, and I'll come visit your field too. So, so what do you want to see more of, Matt? Like, what would you like to see more of in paintball media that we don't see enough of?
Yeah, I mean, this is the I kind of did this, and anyone who watches this that's a channel member on my YouTube channel will know. But like, I did a whole rant on why paintball doesn't grow as much, and I think it's because we don't have as much thought out, or well created, thought out media. Um, and obviously that's bias coming from me, who's a content creator. But I kind of made the point of like, a lot of people get into niche things and sports and things like that because of media. Like, a lot of people say, "Oh, like I started playing because I picked up a magazine and I watched it, or I
Mm,
watched this video." And I kind of relate it to like other sports where like the F1 Netflix show that everyone talks about. Like, a lot of people didn't care about F1 before that show, and then a lot of people watched it and started caring about it, and it gave someone to care about it, gave people a reason to care, right? And I
yeah,
think that, like, Maddie Marshall says that a lot, but like, if we can't get people out to the fields to play, what's the next best thing to do? And that's to expose them to the sport through media. And everybody has a phone in their hands nowadays, so the best way to do that, I feel like, is just posting, good thought out content, and engaging with those people and making them interested, and that will kind of set the spark, because it's a lot easier to get them to watch a video than it is to get them to go out and play paintball.
for
So
sure.
I just think like well thought out media is a great way to spark that that fire in them to want to go play paintball. Then they go out and play, and then they really like it, and then they come back, and it just, it's just, it just goes from there, goes downhill from there, and gets bigger. But I really do want to just see more well thought out media, and not just from like the bigger companies, but from smaller independent people, kind of, like myself. I'd like to say like Brad from Ruin My Life, or Paintball Ruin My Life, Steven from SVP Paintball, Ryan Moffat. Those are all people that are doing really, really good thought out videos, that I really enjoy watching and I want more of, because I draw a lot of inspiration from those as well. And I would love to see the space to kind of come up and be like this conglomerate of these creators that make constantly really, really good thought out content. Dylan is another one that me and you both have really good relationships with. So Dylan Fout's another one that makes really good thought out content, where he, sits down and puts effort into it. It's not just uploading a bunch of, GoPro clips and hoping people
Yeah,
watch it.
yeah. And I was actually going to ask you what you would consider well thought out versus not.
Yeah. I think well thought out is just like planned out, or at least like, I think effort behind it, where it's a story plot, or it has a purpose to it, right? Where it's not just, "Oh, what's up, guys? We're going to play paintball," and then you go play paintball. But it's like, "All right, guys, we're going to the field and we're going to see, what's it like to play with a Division 5 team." Austin Slays is another guy that, I don't know if you've seen, but he does some pretty good thought out content, where he just does like kind of like daily vlogs, but like, he'll have a theme to it, where it's like, "Oh, we're working on the field today, fixing up a paintball field." So it's just like more effort into the creation and more effort into the overall theming of the video. I think are really good things to get more people engaged and to watch and give people a reason to watch, is the other big thing. Like, If you don't have a reason to watch and it's just a random video with a bunch of different clips put together, then people lose interest easily. But if my video is on, the shocker eras, this is the newest era of paintball guns, then people are like, oh, is it the newest era of paintball guns? And the people that don't even know about paintball guns are like, well, what makes this better than a regular paintball gun that I've seen before? So just things like that.
Tell the story, right? Have a story and then
Yeah,
tell
tell
the
the
story.
story.
And it's not like there's a shortage of people that can do this. I think that these days everyone's got camera with a baller, or everyone's got a phone with a baller camera in it. These phones are amazing, the technology. The first year that I was doing this channel was filmed on my phone, and a lot of people didn't know that. So I don't think I think technology and the lack of equipment holds a lot of people back. Uh, but it's not a valid excuse.
I agree. Yeah, I always tell people to just start recording with their phone. Um,
Just do it.
yeah, I hope one day like Google wants to sponsor a video and they'll send me like a Google Pixel and I'll just do a whole entire YouTube video with a Google Pixel and be like, look, you can do you could make really good YouTube content with just your phone. But yeah, that's always what I tell people. I was like, they're always like, how do I get more subscribers? And the biggest thing, one, start making content. I was like, once you get a passion for it, you'll understand it. But I was like, do it with what you have, with the bare minimum,
Mm,
so that you can develop that passion and that work ethic and the understanding, and then start investing, right? So you don't want to invest on a base on like a foundation that's not set, right? Like
yeah.
I literally went out and started recording with just a GoPro that I had bought when we went to like the Keys a couple years before. So I had like a GoPro and I just took it out there and recorded, and I did that for a year straight before I even upgraded. And then my upgrade was a barrel cam. So I had I had two GoPros, and
Worse.
yeah. So I had two GoPros, but I had two different angles now, right? So I was like, it's more to the content, but it was the little steps. But I had that foundation of I wanted to make better content, and I was already making the content, right? It wasn't
Mm.
just like I want more subscribers, I want more followers, because the truth is, like, I didn't ask for any of those followers or subscribers, right? I just put out content, and those things just happen to come from it. So I never set those goals of like I want more subscribers or I want more views. I always set the goal of making better content so that those things are, a byproduct of that.
Isn't that beautiful? You had a vision, right? You had a vision of creating the content that you wanted to see that no one else was making. There was a hole, and you started putting one foot in front of the other, and the followers were a byproduct of that effort.
Yeah.
Write a
Yeah,
book.
it's pretty cool to see now how far we've come too. I just liked making posts. And obviously, like, there's a good feeling when you see the number of followers and likes and views, but it's more of like a feeling of, oh wow, like the things that I'm enjoying and the things that I'm doing are the things that other people enjoy and other people, like to see happen. So I'm sure anyone that ever comes up to me and tells me, "Hey, man, I really appreciate watching, or I really appreciate all the things you do." I'm like, dude, you don't know how much that means to me, because that makes my world go round, because I love doing this stuff. Like I wake up every morning and I'm like ready to go. I'm like, all right, what video are we working on? I got to type up a script for this video. I got to, talk to these people about filming this video. We're flying out, in a day, so I got to pack. And I'm just so excited to make content, because like that's always what I've enjoyed doing, and the fact that other people get enjoyment out of it is just it's just awesome.
Is making content your full-time job?
Yeah, yep. That's what I do now full time. And I'm really, really happy to say that it's been a couple months now since I took that step. But it's been the best decision I've ever made. I was working a engineering job before this as a process engineer at a production plant that ran 24/7. So it was a hard thing as my first job out of college. And every day I came in, there was something else wrong.
Mm.
And so I was trying to learn, trying to get my feet under me straight out of school, and then trying to, put out fires every day. And at the same time, working on YouTube videos, going out to the field and drilling. Just basically every night that I came home, or after work, I go to the gym, come home, cook food, eat, and then work on videos for 2 or 3 hours before I went to bed. Um, and just kept doing that consistently until, I had a really good foundation to where it's like, all right, I feel like um, what I'm doing now is enough to sustain And it also helps that I got laid off. So, I mean,
He forced you
that's
to say
another,
it.
yeah, they kind of pushed me straight
Blessing
into
though.
it. Yeah, yeah, but yes, it was such a blessing. I still remember the day that they told me they were gonna lay me off. I felt like a huge weight got lifted off of my shoulders because I had so
Mm,
much stress in that job, and I was like, I was like, I don't have a salary anymore, but I have all this freedom to do the one thing that I know I'm gonna do.
yeah, that's beautiful, man. That's a dream come true. What advice would you give so other people can make their dream come true in paintball media?
Yeah, I would say the only thing that's stopping you from being the best is yourself. You know, if you want to find it, it's out there, and if you want to do it, the only person that's going to stop you is you.
Mm, that's so true. It's like, especially when it comes to media, right? You see other media entities out there, you're like, "Oh, I'm not that good. I don't have that. I can't make it look like that." One of the things, and I'll bring up Dylan Fout here because, he's a mutual friend of ours, and kind of this, when Dylan and I first started making content together was at the first event last year was the Sunshine State Major Open in Florida, and Go Sports just kind of threw us together. Like, hey, paintball nerd, we like your interviews, and Dylan, we like your videos, and you guys just team up, and whatever happens, happens. No direction. Just like, hey,
Hmm.
maybe just go out there and film the divisional pits. I don't know. You guys figure it out. Is basically what they said. So there was like this moment where Dylan and I were sitting like outside of the fence, like where all the vendors put up their empty boxes and stuff, just kind of like, what are we supposed to do to like make this thing something cool? And kind of this modus operandi that we came up with was done is better than perfect. Done is better than perfect. And that led to progress, right? Because yes, we put out product that or put up content that maybe wasn't perfect, but it was done and we got to see like, well, what do people like about it? What do they not like about it? What do we like about it? What do we not like about it? And that helped us work towards perfection. Still working towards it, right? But that mindset of just getting it done and putting it out there really helped us.
Yeah, and I mean, it gives you like, kind of like what we talked about, like that foundation of
Yeah.
like this is the content, and exactly like you said, you know what you like, what you don't like, what people don't like, and you can just work on it.
Yeah. And I think it's possible that many people underestimate the value of mistakes and errors.
What's Dylan say? Learn from losing.
It sounds
It's
like
right.
Dylan.
It's right on the hat he gave me. So
Yeah. I
learn
love
from losing. Yep.
Yeah. So if you're not like trying to get out there and make things happen, uh, you'll be safe, right? You won't lose, but you're not in the game. So who cares,
Mhm.
right? Get in the game, lose, learn, shoot that shot at the buzzer. Go for it.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, the kind of the same thing with you. Like you've been doing this content for a while now, and I was talking to you as like, hey, I think you've pretty much ironed out the kinks, how much you've done it, and your exact comment was, well, it seems like new kinks come up every time, but
Yeah.
you learn from it, right? And you're like, all right, that won't happen again, or all right, we know what's coming up next, and that's the awesome part about it is that learning process, and then you get that Kobe mindset of you're like, all right, I'm gonna go until I don't miss, right? And then once you don't miss, you learn something else that you can do that you can't do quite as well. And that's really the falling in love with the process.
Yes, you begin to find and embrace the kinks. That sounded a little weird, but I'm gonna stick with it. Uh,
Oh man.
tell me about your favorite memory from paintball.
My favorite memory. I've got a couple, man. I mean, like when we first started our team, we stuck together for 3 years, and that was really awesome because we went from playing D5 all the way up to D3 and then XL, and that was just a lot of fun to like get to meet those guys and those relationships I still have. But besides that, I would say like getting second at World Cup in 2021. It was my first year playing Division Three, and we hopped on with Crisis because a lot of our guys from our other team, the 843, kind of like had things that had happened and they had to move away. Some guys couldn't make it, and so we hopped on with Carolina Crisis on their Division Three team. and we went all the way to the finals. We lost to SAC DMG's D3 team by 1 point, but man, I'm still chasing that feeling of standing outside at an NXL event late Sunday afternoon and being one of the only people with a dirty jersey on, because that's just such a good feeling. And I think everyone else that knows what I'm talking about can relate to that, but especially at World Cup. But just to stand at those NXL events at 3 o'clock in the afternoon on Sunday and be one of the only people that's played 6 matches to get to where you're at right now, it's a really good feeling. But you can't ever be satisfied with that. And you always got, one more match after that. And that's even a better feeling, is standing on that podium after you do it. So that's definitely my favorite memory, is doing that, and with my brother at the same time. So it was a good feeling to do that with someone who I've grown up with all my life.
Big brother, little brother?
Yeah, he's my little brother. Actually, he just turned 26 yesterday. So happy birthday to Tyler. Happy belated birthday.
Happy birthday,
But
Tyler.
yeah, I made an Instagram post about it. So if y'all want to see some funny videos of him, y'all could go look at that. But yeah, me and him have just been grinding away ever since 2018 when we started the team, just trying to become better paintball players. And so, me and him have pretty much gone everywhere together, played every big tournament that I've ever played. I played with him.
What's the name of your team now?
So I just made a new team, but I haven't got the okay to announce it.
Can you spell it for us?
Let me see. Okay. Yeah. So I can say what team I'm on. Just
right. What is it?
Coach gave it. So I made Greenville Growls semi-pro team. So I'll be playing with them this year. So
Greenville Growl, like growl.
Yeah. Yeah. So those are a lot of the old Crisis guys, and then a couple other guys. But just guys that I looked up to pretty much all my paintball career. And would kick me in practice and beat me up, and I just learned from it, like we talked about, learning from losing, and now I get to play with them, which I'm really excited for. But yeah, I'll be playing semi-pro this year with Greenville Growl, so I'm really excited for that.
Congratulations, dude. That's
Thanks.
a big step. D2 to semi-pro is a big step.
Yeah, D3 last year, but yeah, it's
D3 to semi-pro.
Yeah,
bad man.
Yeah, I've been working really hard, and I feel like I'm ready for it. So this will be the first NXL tournament I play without my brother. But like I said, I'm really excited to get out there and learn. And I think if you're not uncomfortable, you probably won't grow. So definitely get in a comfortable position where I'm playing with a bunch of new guys that are all definitely more proven than me, and have put in more work than me over the years. So it'll be a fun time.
Tell me more about that. If you're not comfortable, then you're probably growing. What do you mean by that?
Yeah. I mean, when you're comfortable, you don't push yourself, right? When you're comfortable, you're not in a spot. I mean, you work out, you know, the kind of the feeling of when you're just kind of going through a workout versus when you're pushing yourself, trying to increase your strength, trying to increase your endurance, your agility, anything like that. It's something where if it feels good and it feels like, hey man, I could do this for a while, then you're probably not getting better at whatever it is that you're doing. When you're trying to find those kinks, when you're trying to find those holes, you got to learn from losing. So
we should give a visual representation to our listeners here, Matt. So this is my handy visual representation guide. Let's say that you're the dot. You're the dot. Okay? And let's call that the comfort zone, right? Well, we can go here. I can't go past there. I'm in my comfort zone, right? Like, no matter what, I can only go on this paper, like an inch, right? How can I go past this? How can I grow past my comfort zone? Right? I got to get outside the comfort zone to grow.
you got to get outside of it.
Get outside that comfort zone. Get outside that comfort zone.
Come on, guys.
Hey, let's all get uncomfortable here and let's start growing, right? We have a lot of good little sound bites in this about, growing, and done is better than perfect. Grow outside your comfort zone. It's good. It's because, Matt, that you've lived it, right? You yourself.
To some extent, or I've heard it at least. And so I understand it.
Well, you've implemented it, so it made it real. So you mentioned some guys that you looked up to uh, on Growl. You want to shout some guys out that you really appreciate on your team?
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, like these guys have always like helped me grow just by watching them and playing against them. But like, the biggest guys like Robbie Bendig, Austin Castor, Eddie Dawes, Zach Freeze, um, Jake Talty, Mark Henley, Josh Barton. Those guys are all guys that I've been under, and some people, especially in the Carolinas, will understand who those people are. But like Austin and Eddie, Zach Freeze, those are all from former pro players. But yeah, those guys have been kicking my butt for a long time, and it's really cool to finally get to stand beside them and say, hey, we're teammates now. And it feels good that I was able to work hard enough to get there, and say that and feel like I'm good enough to be on the team with them. But yeah, I'm really excited to be playing with all those guys, and really hopefully make an impact in semi-pro.
So Vegas is the first event you guys are playing semi-pro.
Mm-hmm.
That's exciting, Matt. I'm excited for you, man.
Thank you.
You're one step away from the top there.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, I got to focus at the task on hand, but the goal is always to get better. The goal is always to get better. So, yeah, I'm going to absorb as much as I can from what's happening, in the moment, and, learn from all of it and hopefully implement it and continue to grow.
How about pro players for you? Is there anyone that you really looked up to, coming up that plays pro?
Yeah. I mean, like for the longest time, looked up to Mouse just because of his athleticism and his speed. Also now that I've been around him a lot more is Chris Shear, just kind of watching how he plays, because me and him will drill pretty often out of the fields, because he's also lives in Charlotte where I'm at. So we get some pretty, often drilling time, and I always go to him with like questions that I have, and he has really good insight on it. But yeah, like
Legal
Mouse.
advice and stuff?
Yeah, actually, and then Bruce is another guy. They're both lawyers, so it's always fun to hear them two talk to each other because you're like, whoa,
Like, what are you guys
all
talking
this
about?
legal jargon. But yeah, yeah, Mouse, just like the athletic prowess that he has, and what the intensity that he brings. I remember like watching Ironman highlights of him just running people down the snake and how fast he would do it. And it's like that's always the goal, is to be that instinctual and to go that fast and to be that controlled when you are doing all of that. And then, like I said, Chris, he's just he's been a really good role model being around him. He's a couple years older than me, but like seeing what he's done so far and his patience in the game and his skills are just are very, very good. I mean, he's on Dynasty for a reason. So the fact that I can be around him and absorb as much as I can from him is really, really awesome.
It's a blessing to have access to that.
Yeah. Yeah. Not a lot of people do. So.
Yeah, I mean, unless you live in one of the like the pro paintball mecca areas, like Southern California or Texas or Florida, like around a pro team, it's hard to gain influence, like live influence from a pro player outside of watching them on film, man.
Yep.
So it's huge. Do you have any interesting Matt the Gym Rat items you want to show us?
Oh man, I do. So I was on eBay the other night because I'm working on a video. And well, that should give away a good bit right there on eBay, working on a paintball video. But I saw a listing for a paintball gun, and the price, I was like, dude, I can't, like, even if it doesn't work, I can't lose at that price. So I picked up this this Triton for $13 on eBay with free shipping.
That's an incredible value. Does it work?
It does not work, actually. So my goal is to make it work. And if I can make this thing work, that'll be even better content. Because I really want to play with it, the $13 paintball gun from eBay. But yeah, I took it out last weekend to see if it'll work, and it wasn't working. So I got to figure out like what the output pressure that the tank needs to be at, and figure out what O-rings need to be on this so I can replace them, because I really want to make this thing work.
It probably isn't hard. It probably uses a cup seal, and
I don't know what that is.
braided hose, so that's not going to leak.
Yeah.
So you just need a CO2 tank. Pop it in there. Maybe change some O-rings inside.
Yeah, the steel braided hose was taking some fingers this past weekend. There was a couple people that started bleeding. Look, holding this gun because of the steel
Is it
braids were
frayed?
coming out. Yeah,
Oh, yeah. You don't want to mess
yeah,
with that.
yeah. People's fingers were bleeding. I was like, calm down. That's why I got tape on the front right here.
Wow.
But I also, like I was saying, I was working on an eBay or on a video for eBay. So I got.
What's the video on eBay about? Like, don't buy stuff on eBay for $13.
I mean, this might give a little bit away from it, but I got Gotcha the Sport on NES.
That's the first paintball game?
It's first paintball game ever.
I didn't even know that existed for NES, dude.
Yep, and it uses the light zapper, so I got to figure out how to get a light zapper, and then the goal is to beat it.
Like the light zapper that they used on Duck Hunt?
Yes, exactly.
Ooh. That's like a vintage collector's item now. So if you find one, it's probably going to cost you more than $13.
Actually, I was talking to Will, aka 40 Media, but he said that he lives about an hour away from me. He said that he has an NES and he does have a light zapper, so we might be in business there.
That's a video unto itself.
Yeah. And just imagine how many more videos I can make off of other paintball video games.
How old are you?
I'm 27.
Dude, you weren't even alive when NES was around.
No. I will disclose though that I am a huge video game fan. I have a ton of. I don't play as much as I used to, but I watch video game news every morning. I have a video game collection. Like my favorite video game of all time is Persona 5 Royale. But
Never heard of it.
it's a Japanese game, so it's kind of like anime kind of themed. But it's also the
game.
Yeah. It's also the longest single player game I think ever too. So it's a hefty investment. But yeah, I love video games. I'm always watching video game content along with paintball content. So yeah, I love video games, working out and playing paintball.
PlayStation or Xbox?
I'm an Xbox guy. I started out PlayStation early in my life, and I switched over to Xbox.
Why?
All my friends had Xbox back in the day, so like Call of Duty and all that was happening. So I got an Xbox, and I never played any of that with them. Funny enough, but then I got into PUBG for a long time. Back in 2018, I probably spent over 1,000 hours playing that just in that year alone. And then
What is it called?
PUBG, Players Unknown Battlegrounds. It was like the first really big battle royale. And
Gotcha.
then I still watch YouTube videos on that. And then I got into Apex, and I've also got like over 1,000 hours in that. So I spent a lot of time playing video games.
What kind of game is Apex?
It's also a battle royale. It's a first-person shooter battle royale. So basically, you land, pick up loot, and then try and survive to be the last one alive when there's 64 people on the map. So,
Is it kind of like a Fortnite deal?
Exactly like a Fortnite deal, but you don't build in that one.
Yeah. Well, I don't play Fortnite. You know what game I really like right now? Super Mario World 3D.
Oh yeah, are you enjoying that?
Dude, I love Mario. I always have ever since, the first Nintendo. And so I've always gotten Nintendos. I've skipped like a few of them. I skipped
the Wii U.
The Wii.
Yeah.
So I had like the NES, I had the Super Nintendo, I had the N64, and then I stopped playing video games for a long time, and then I saw Super Mario World 3D, and it was looked like the greatest time ever, and it was. And they got Mario Kart. I can't get away from Mario Kart.
Yeah.
So now I'm rocking the Nintendo Switch, and you can take it out of your TV and put it in your bag and
you
travel.
Can take it anywhere. I've got one right here, dude.
Dude, see, you know the deal.
Yeah, on the next plane flight, if we ever have a plane flight back together, we're just gonna play Switch the whole entire time. How about that? We'll play Mario Kart together.
See, dude, I'm impressed because I thought true gamers don't like Nintendo because it's got kid games or what. I like the kid games,
Yeah. I mean, I don't judge anyone off of video games, really, to be honest.
Good.
Play whatever you want to play, because at the end of the day, it's your life, right? That's your own free time. If you're gonna play something because other people are gonna judge you about it, hey man, you do that, but I'm gonna play whatever I enjoy.
Yeah. So what does it take to what does it take to get to your level in media in general? Not just paintball media, just your level in media.
I feel like I'm probably gonna echo the same things that we've been saying, but I think it's just like consistency and quality and the willingness to grow, the willingness to
Mm,
learn and grow. I take a lot of I take like a lot of responsibility about everything that I do, even if it's things that I don't probably shouldn't. But like anything that I do, if people comment on it or view it or don't watch it or like it or don't like it, like it's all because of what I've done. So I always take that responsibility. But like saying, hey, okay, I want to post. I've set goals every year, you know, at the beginning of the year, and I still haven't gone all the way back to like 2021 of like how many videos I want to post. And I don't always hit it, but the fact that I do have that goal and I want to be consistent, um, and just posting videos consistently doesn't have to be like every week, but just say like, hey, you know, in the next 6 months, I want to put out 6 videos that I think are going to be the best videos that I can possibly make. And then you
mm,
just have that goal and you work at it and you're consistent and then you try and improve the quality. So like, okay, you know, last time when I was talking to the camera, they really couldn't hear me because I was too far. So I'm going to get closer. It's little things like that for quality, or like, hey, you know, at this angle, it looks really bad. So maybe I should make sure next time that the sun's hitting my face directly so that when I talk to the camera, people can see my face. Little things
mm.
like that is what you can do. And then as you take those steps, you can improve even greater on the quality, which is like the cameras that you use, the mics that you use. We actually just picked up, or I just picked up some DJI mics, the new ones, the whatever they are, the little hook in ones.
Yep.
But yeah, things like that. So you can pick up on that quality. Um, and after that, it's the willingness to learn and grow. So you look at your own analytics and you look at that and you say, okay, well, this video did better than the other 3 videos. Why did it do better? Did it have a different theme? Did I script this out? Did I say a certain thing differently? You know, did I emphasize words that I was saying differently? Little things like that. And then also, like, part of that learning is looking at other content and seeing what you like and don't like about it and trying to take that as inspiration. Like anything that y'all ever see me post is not original, you know, for the most part. It's not original. It's always inspired by someone and I put my own twist on it to make it more. It becomes original when I do that, but it's still inspired, right? It's not like I was sitting
Sure.
at home one day and being like, "Oh, you know, we should fly a drone over a paintball field." And I was the first person to ever think of that. So you know, you get inspiration from seeing those things. So it's like even like the shorts, the reels, everything like that. I see stuff, I save it, and I go back and I try and make a template in my head of what they did to make it, and I put my own twist onto it. So it's kind of taking that inspiration and trying to grow with that. So yeah, I think the big three is just consistency, quality, and growth.
Mm. You know, they say someone said it. I'm not sure who said it, but someone said that nothing is original anymore. Everything is inspired.
I thought you were gonna say an apple a day keeps the doctor away, but
I found that to be true as well. Fiber's good for you,
yes,
you
good for
know,
the gut.
so eat those apples. Uh, you know, you should, do more, dieting things for paintball. Do you do that?
Yeah, yeah, I've thought about that. I have a lot of fun like posting like what I eat in a day, or like I did a story edition the other day
Yeah,
so people could kind of see like what I eat.
I see.
Yeah, I do. I like now that I make content, you know, for a living. I'm at home a lot, so I can cook. So I'm always, you know, trying to save money, buy things in bulk, and then cook at home. Um, so been having a lot of fun doing that. And I've been thinking about maybe doing a video because, you know, like I have been dieting to get down to a leaner weight for Las Vegas. Like do a video of like how I lost weight playing paintball or things like that. Or like I really want to do a video where it's like our professional paintballers athletes, and I think that would be a
Yes.
really good video of doing like a challenge video with someone. I might grab somebody and doing one of those. But
Get
yeah.
someone fat. Get someone fat and do a video on.
Oh man.
They're out there, you know, they're out we don't have to name anyone, but they're
Yeah.
out there, right? You got some portly pro paintball players, nothing wrong with it. You get bounces, but that'd be great, Matt. You
Yeah.
know, a video
Maybe
title.
yeah. Maybe I just joined a CrossFit gym, so maybe I can get like one of the guys there that's like insane and get him to come out to the field and like do a challenge against like somebody local. Well, actually I know Kyle Bowen, he does CrossFit. I can just get him to come out.
There you
Do
go. You
Kyle versus Chris. We'll make that happen.
think CrossFit's good for you?
I do. Yeah. I recently started dating a girl that did CrossFit. And she would always send me her workouts. And I had worked with several trainers before, like on speed training, on athletic training, and they literally did all the same things that like those trainers would give me. Um,
Mm,
and so from seeing that and being like, well, I want to be a better athlete. I want to, grow and progress as not only an athlete but also in the gym, and seeing like all the things that they did. Now, granted, it's not in the same capacity, but they're still doing all those athletic movements, the Olympic lifts, the
right.
gymnastics, things like that. And it's in a very short, compounded time. But like the focus for any time you work out, anything you ever do is always form and being safe. And it's no different there. So it's the same thing where it's like, hey, you want to go with a lighter weight because you're going to be doing it a little bit faster so you can maintain that form. But yeah, I've taken 3 classes so far. I actually just took one today. And yeah, I've enjoyed it a lot. It's really awesome. You just hit it hard for 30 minutes. You're breathing really hard. You're telling yourself, hey, keep going. You got 5 more. Just keep going. Um, and I've always done really good like with that with like working out. I wrestled in high school, so kind of like having that grit mindset of like just keep going, it'll be over sooner or later. It's really fun to get back into that, and they do competitions and stuff like that too. And I
Yeah.
obviously like paintball competitions, so I'm sure, once I get to a point that I'm comfortable doing all this stuff, that I would enjoy doing that as well.
How come most people I know named Matt have wrestled? Asking
they're
for a friend.
they're probably like Caucasian too. I feel like most of the guys that that are Matt and wrestled are white as well. Yeah.
They are weird.
Yeah. I don't know because it's funny as there was a guy that was a weight class above me in high school that was like a really good at wrestling, and his name was also Matt,
Hmm.
and we were the
No
same age and everything.
coincidence.
Nope.
I don't think there's any coincidence there.
Yeah.
Matt, do you think that you are a influencer or a paintball influencer?
Uh, I'm definitely a paintball influencer right now. My goal is to become an influencer, so that I can start mixing in other things because I do think that there are other bigger audiences with the other things that I do, that would also be interested in my paintball background and that I could bring into paintball. Um, so I do think that that's a good transition, and I'm still trying to do that. I need to get a little bit more confident filming in the gym. So that's just one thing. If anyone wants to know, Matt the Gym Rat is not the most confident filming in the gym, but I am. I think it's just the aspect of like it's not always the most comfortable to just like film yourself and know that there's people in the background and bring a massive camera setup in.
Mm,
And also it's like it's not the same. In paintball, a lot of times I can just turn on a barrel cam and be good. Whereas like in the workouts, I have to kind of set up the camera, make sure the angle's good, make sure like the lighting's good, and then go work out and then come back and turn it off and check it and make sure that's all good. Whereas in paintball, I either have someone recording me, I set up the camera and I'm there to strictly talk to the camera or do something, or it's a barrel cam and I just press a button and it records. And when I'm done, I press the button. And if I got it good, and if I mess something up, on to the next one.
well, you could get one of those Apple headsets and just like film yourself in front of the mirror at the
Yeah.
gym,
Yeah.
or those sunglasses that have the little
Uh,
camera in them.
imagine how nasty that headset would be after like a couple hard
Dude, I
workouts.
promise you, in a couple months, you're gonna see people at the gym with those damn headsets on.
They're gonna be all foggy on
For
the
sure.
inside
Yeah, exactly. And they're like
from all the
curling, and
sweat.
then with one hand they're gonna be like, doing their thing, pinching and spreading.
Oh man.
It's gonna be great. Matt, how would you like to be remembered in paintball?
That's deep. I'll keep it short and sweet. I guess as a good guy.
Well done. That's done already.
So
Congratulations. What are you most thankful for that paintball's given you?
all the people. Yeah. I definitely like I moved to Charlotte for a job, and I knew I already had friends here. I lost my job and I knew I already had friends here. I can go pretty much to any paintball field in in the world now, and I know I'll meet someone and make friends with them. So that's the awesome part.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, Matt, thank you so much for your time here today. Is there anything that you'd like to part with for the paintball community?
Yeah. I want to say a big thank you to lonewolfpaintball.com. They believed in me before anyone else ever did. They were my first sponsorship for anything. So they definitely, if there's a place that I would give my money to whenever you're looking for new gear, that's the place that I've always looked up to, because they, they believe in paintball. And then after that, Max Sportswear. There's also another company that believes in me and sponsored me all last year and this year. But Max Sportswear has made all my merch. The shirt you see here. So they have been, Charles over there has been awesome with just working with me and making sure, whenever I need something, if I want to make a new shirt, make a new jersey, that he's got it covered. So after that, 40 Media, Will and Alex, those people have, those two have done nothing but help my career grow. And all the videos that you see, pretty much Will or Alex has filmed them. So I wouldn't be where I'm at without those two. And then after that, all the guys in the Carolinas that have helped me grow, become a better paintball player.
Awesome. Matt, the gym rat, thank you.
Thank you.